Yo, what's up? You guys know that I'm one of the only few big YouTubers who actually reads his comments, and I actually reply to some comments. I saw you guys commenting on literally every single video I posted, telling me I had to check out these weird channels. DJ, meet the story channels! DJ, meet the story channels! At first though, I ignored it. I was really confused, and I didn't really understand why you guys wanted me to react to those videos. Eventually though, I decided to take a look at these channels that you were telling me to take a look at, and I actually figured out why you guys wanted me to. I found the weirdest videos on YouTube. Seriously. These people are weird. Share My Story and My Story Animated are just two of the channels we're going to look at in today's episode. These channels basically ask their viewers to send in stories, and then they'll make a video about it. That seems normal when you first hear it, but once you actually see the stories though, you'll see what I was talking about earlier.
Your husband got me pregnant and he has no interest in taking responsibility for his mistake.
That is disgusting. In this video, we're gonna watch some of these videos together, and then we're gonna do some research to figure out if these are real or fake stories. You should be glad you clicked on this video because it's gonna be crazy. Welcome to our exploration with the weirdest and nastiest videos on YouTube. Before we check out those super weird videos though, Ridge Wallets made this video possible. We all know that your grandma probably bought you your wallet that you have right now, and I'm sure it's time for a new one. Ridge Wallets are the new wave. They look nothing like your normal Walmart wallet, so you can look cool when you pull out your fat stacks of money. I'm kidding, but seriously, these wallets let you carry whatever you need without all the extra junk. There's over 12 different colors and styles, so you can be as unique as you want. There's also a lifetime warranty if you love it, and if you don't like it, you can return it for free and get your money back, so what's the point in not buying it? They have over 30,000 5-star reviews, so you know it's going to be awesome, and I personally love them too. You can get 10% off your first wallet today by going to ridge.com/DJ. The link is in the description. Now, back to our weird video adventure. I'm going to show a few of these videos to you right now. Like, for example, my crush has been living in my wall. Dad got my best friend pregnant. Oh my gosh, that is really weird. Remember, real people are sending in their stories to this channel, so this had to have happened to someone. Imagine you're just laying in bed thinking about your crush, and all of a sudden you look, and there's a hole in the wall all of a sudden.
Exit. I am your character.
And also, I can't wait to read the comments on these videos. I usually try to read the comments with you guys when we react to videos because people just go crazy when they see a weird video like this. Let's go ahead and watch some of these. So, I want you to pick a number 1 through 3. Okay, you picked 3, so we're gonna pick the third video I wanted to watch. And you shouldn't have picked 3 because it's called I Got My Stepmom Pregnant. I almost threw up. Wow, this is weird. Well, you picked it, so let's watch it.
My dad's a total jerk, and not even good looking. So how come he was able to marry Lexi, a stunning model who's been on the cover of Vogue and dated several famous football players?
So already, this dude seems jealous of his dad.
After she got married to my dad, he treated her horribly. He'd make her dress in revealing maid costumes and ordered her to cook for him or clean the living room while he watched. He seemed to get a kick out of having power over her. Okay, maybe you think Lexi deserved it. I mean, she only married Dad for his money, but she always seemed so sad. One day, I found Lexi crying. I asked what was wrong, and she told me my dad had screamed at her for hours and said he'd kick her out if she annoyed him again. I said I was sorry for how my dad was treating her, but suddenly she pushed me back, straddled me, and started kissing me all over.
Oh my god, what the... Ew, why am I even watching this?
But after he left, Lexi and I started kissing again. It was such a rush because I knew it was wrong, and I never even held a girl's hand before, and now I was making out with a supermodel. You'd have done the same if you were me. Of course, if my dad found out, he would kill us, but I couldn't keep my hands off Lexi. Our affair went on for months. Whenever Dad went out, Lexi and I hooked up. Even though she was older than me, we fell in love.
That is so weird. Like, I could never imagine falling in love with my stepmom.
But then, Lexi fell pregnant. There was no doubt I was the father because it happened during one of my dad's business trips. Of course, we didn't tell my dad. He thought the baby was his.
Imagine you're white, your wife is white, and you have a kid, and the kid comes out black. That's basically what's happening here. He thinks it's his kid, but once she gives birth to it, he's gonna realize something's up.
So, I came up with a plan. I told my dad I'd changed my mind about helping with his business deals. He was so happy. He said he'd never been prouder of me. Over the next few weeks, I went with him on business meetings with various companies. It was shocking how open they were about bribing my dad and how much money they were going to make. They wouldn't have been so open if they'd known that I'd planted hidden microphones in Dad's office. I was recording every word they said. After a few months, I had enough evidence to send my dad to prison for the rest of his life.
Wow. Imagine your son taking you to prison. That is disrespect right there. Like, you brought him into the world and he's basically taking you right out. So I watched the rest of that video and he was basically saying how he told his dad that he had the kid with his wife. And the kid and the stepmom lived happily ever after until she realized that the dude didn't have a lot of money like his dad did. That's the only reason why she married the old dude, because he had money. They ended up breaking up. Then his dad got killed all of a sudden, and therefore the son got all of his dad's money and he got to live with his daughter. That was really weird and like awkward to watch. You see what I'm saying? These channels just suck. Let's read some comments on this video. Someone said, "Fun fact, you did not search for this video." That is actually true. Like, who the heck would search up "I got my stepmom pregnant"? I commented, "This is the nastiest video I've ever seen on YouTube," and I feel like I'm right. You guys can probably agree too. That was pretty nasty. Now let's watch a weirder story. Something that isn't as nasty, but it's super confusing and random. It's about conjoined twins, two sisters in the same body.
When my mom was pregnant, her doctor told her she was expecting one baby girl, but instead she got us, conjoined twins. While my mom loved us deeply, my dad told her to let us die. He suggested to accidentally let us drop on the floor because no one would be suspicious of us dying anyway.
That's the worst dad I've ever seen.
My name is Elaine, and her name is Buttface. Let me tell you about our lives and challenges.
Nah, there is no way. Buttface? I feel so bad for her. Now this is where I start to think, is this even real? I mean, how many people in the world are named Buttface? And how many of those people are twins? And how many of those twins named Buttface are conjoined? This just doesn't add up.
One night I was laying in bed next to him while my sister was asleep. He began telling me that he loved me more than my sister because she was annoying and stuck up. Hearing him trash talk my sister somehow made me feel special, like I was better than her. But it turns out that he was having secret conversations with my sister too. One night I woke up and heard them talking. My sister was giggling and I asked, "What are you guys talking about?" She responded, "Oh, nothing important." And I said, "Wait, did he tell you that he likes you more than me?" My sister responded, "Yes, he did." And I said, "He told me the same thing." Well, a few minutes later, we had thrown him out of our apartment.
So basically, they both dated the same guy. That's so weird to me. But, I mean, if they both dated a different guy, the other one would have to tag along too on their dates.
What?
Now, the rest of the story is just them talking about how they love being conjoined and wouldn't mind being separated if it was possible. I think you've seen plenty of these videos. I want to go into detective mode. You guys can now call me Detective DJ. So, my case is to figure out if these stories are real, but there's a catch. I'm actually on a time limit. I must figure out if these are legit or not. I'm gonna go through these videos to find information that I can research about, and I'll try to see if it ever happened before. And no, my data won't be perfectly correct, but hey, it'll be pretty good. I mean, I'm a 17-year-old kid who falls asleep in school accidentally. Oh God, I forgot I was on a time limit. Let's go. So for the first story, I remember him saying his stepmom's name was Lexi and that she was on the cover of a Vogue magazine. Now this is the fun part. I tried to find a girl named Lexi that was on the cover of the magazine. The only girl that's been on that cover that was named Lexi was Lexi Bowling. But if we look deeper into Lexi Bowling, she is a model, but she has no kids. The narrator said that him and his stepmom had a kid. Now she does look similar to the animation. I mean, they both have blonde hair and they're both models, but I couldn't even find a girl named Lexi that was on that cover. The only one I could find was Lexi Bowling. Also, it says in the story that she dated many football players, but Lexi Bowling has only had one husband, and that was in 2016. I also tried to search up a politician that was murdered in South America, which was shown in the story as his dad, but I couldn't find anything for that, which means this story is busted. Now for story 2, the conjoined twins one. This one's a lot harder because there aren't a lot of weird details that we saw by watching it. The only thing we have are their names, Elaine and Buttface. Remember that? Let's do some research. Now this video is different. I can't find anything that says it's real, but there's no proof that it's fake. I feel like they actually could be real and this story could be, perfectly fine, but I feel like they're just not famous enough to have a news article on them. You know what I mean? Like in the first story, we were talking about models on magazine covers. In this one, we're just talking about some ordinary conjoined twins. So I'm gonna say that this story is possible, but it's not very likely that it's true. Okay, so both of those videos that we just watched were from the channel Share My Story. The next channels are going to be a lot worse, so make sure you put your seatbelts on right now. I'm gonna pick two videos that look super crazy and weird, and hopefully Detective DJ can find enough clues to close his case. This video is titled, I Am the Only Man in Town. I have so many questions, like, how was that even possible? I guess there's only one way to find out.
I was the only boy born into a girl's village after 20 years. When you're the first boy to be born into a village chock-block full of girls after 20 years, let me tell you, that's some burden to bear. All you guys out there are probably thinking it must be like winning the lottery. Girls flocking to your feet everywhere. Yeah, it kinda was like that at first, but then things just got weird.
Wouldn't his dad be the first guy in the village or the only guy in the village?
Why? But my village believes that they got cursed from a witch that they kicked out a long time ago. But if you ask me, I think God is the one punishing us for kicking her out. On top of all that, people in my village are not allowed to marry people from the outside. So, the moment my parents realized I was a boy, they quickly wrapped me up in a blanket and kept my gender a secret. They told everyone I was a girl and that my name was Jackie, when in actual fact, I was a boy and my name was Jared. A little bit weird, right? But my parents had no other option. They knew that people would freak out if they found out I was a boy.
Wait, hold up. How did they keep making babies if there were no boys? Think about that. He said he was the first boy, but how were they making babies then? I guess the village leader was getting busy. So we had to hide his identity and we found out his name was Jared. Detective DJ's getting happy.
All of a sudden, every girl wanted to be my friend. I was the center of attention, and honestly, it was too much. I was just a kid. Suddenly, I had girls hanging off me, wanting to play with me all the time. How come I was more popular as a boy than a girl? Anyway, the older I got, the more intense it became. When I turned 12, the village mayor started a new tradition. From now on, every year on my birthday, I'd sit on a throne for the whole day, and all the women who wanted to conceive baby boys would come and bow at my feet, and one by one, they'd reach out and kiss my feet.
The mayor is literally a boy. This story has to be fake. He then goes on to say that he had 3 different wives at the same time, and then at the end, he said he became a father of 10 boys. I do not believe this one bit. I cannot wait for Detective DJ to come back out after this next video. Our next story that we're going to look at is going to be the best one we've ever looked at. It's going to be the weirdest, craziest, and funniest story. It says, my grandpa got me pregnant 3 times. Yeah, her grandpa got her pregnant 3 times. I'm going to tell you what you need to know before we watch this. So basically, the girl who's talking, her mom died, and her grandparents hated her because they feel like she caused her mom's death. The grandparents became her parents because her mom died, and her grandmother hated her, but her grandpa kinda loved her.
It was one afternoon later that month that it happened. He did it with me. Against my will, of course. This was the first time this had happened, and I remember it crystal clear. I was just frozen in place, staring unseeingly ahead of me. I could hear the vacuum upstairs from my grandmother cleaning, and I focused more on that than anything else.
Ew, that's disgusting. Now, I watched this whole video, and it's really boring. I would have shown more clips of these videos, but they're kind of boring. They're just little animations that just are filled with unnecessary information. Basically, though, her grandpa got her pregnant 3 different times, and every time she told her grandmother it was just some boys from school, but eventually, by the 3rd time, she told her grandma that it was actually her grandpa that was doing it. Her grandma never believed her, and things kept happening until she ran away one day looking for help. Now, I think that these two stories are perfect for Detective DJ because there is a lot of different things that I can look up to try to solve these cases and figure out if this is all just made up bullcrap or if it's actually real. So for the first story, about the dude who was the first boy born in a village for over 30 years, he said, let's try to do some research to see if this is true. Now, after looking some things up, all I could find was articles about a Polish village that hasn't had a boy in 10 years. Not 30 years like the story said, so obviously they must be stretching the truth. I also couldn't find anything about a kid named Jared having 3 wives and 10 boys. This video is possibly real, I don't doubt it, but I just feel like it would be all over the news if they only had 1 boy in 30 years. There's articles online about having a first boy in 10 years, so why wouldn't they have a first boy in 30 years one? And now, Detective DJ is gonna have to try to figure out if this girl actually got pregnant 3 times by her grandpa. That's a pretty weird thing to like make up and act like happened to you, because remember, people send in these stories, so if you're acting like this happened to you, that's really weird. I found hundreds of news articles showing where a grandpa impregnated his granddaughter, but nothing fully relates to the story. In the story that we watched, it said that her grandma never helped her, but in most of these news articles that I found, the grandma helped her. I wish I had the names of these people in this last story so I could actually verify if it was real or not. But I mean, there's articles that say grandfather impregnates 11-year-old girl, and there's also articles that say grandfather learns his fate after getting girl pregnant, but none of these clearly match up to the story that we watched. So this is why, once again, I'll say it's possibly real, but there's no evidence of it being real or fake. I'm disappointed. I was presented a case to try to solve the mysteries, but I couldn't solve anything. If you guys have any tips for Detective DJ, please let me know. Maybe I could use it in another video, but anyways, you gotta admit, these are definitely the weirdest videos that you've seen on YouTube, and that's what you guys clicked on the video for. I hope you guys liked watching this, and I'm sorry that Detective DJ couldn't find any real information. It was either a hit or miss with these stories, and I guess I picked the wrong ones to investigate, but they were still really weird and really crazy, so I guess that's good enough. If you guys want to see some more awesome videos like this, then make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I post these videos all the time, and I'll see you guys in my next episode. I know you see those videos on the screen right now. If they seem cool to you, go ahead and click on one of them. They might be about the time I threw a chair at my teacher, about the time I punched a kid in the McDonald's play place, or it might just be a random video. So go ahead, check that out if you want.